Good morning, folks. My name is Adrian Payne. Flying is about to publish a sequel to my first book, Life on the Great Northern Peninsula, and this book will be called In the Shadow of the Long Range Mountain, which will be, I think, be due around the end of this month, June. So looking forward to this, and if you want to go into my website, www.adrianpayne.ca. You can see my second book, which is a self-published book of poems, and my other two. So look forward to that. Anyway, I'm going to read you a few paragraphs of a story that is in this book. So there's a lot of different stories in there, and of course, if you're whatever type of work you're in, I guess you run into some dangers, especially after 50 years of guiding and fishing and hunting in the long range mountains. So this is one of the stories in this book. We were flying out of Portland Creek that year. Because of the weather, it was 3 days before we could fly back to Browns Lake. I called the pilot and told him I wanted to go to Browns Lake to secure the camps and bring out the extra food. It was a nice day with not a draft of wind, a beautiful day to be flying over the long range mountains. I was happy that we'd had a good year with no accidents and that this would be my last trip for the season. There was always the worry that someone might get hurt, but thank God we had been lucky in that regard. It was refreshing to know that all that was left to do was to store all the gear away from the 4 camps. When that was done, and the guys were paid, including a little bonus for their hard work, then I'll take a little break myself. After landing at Browns Lake, I boarded up the windows while the pilot packed the groceries aboard the plane. We didn't have a lot of weight, about maybe 200 pounds besides me and the pilot. When leaving, I always look back at the camps with a little saying running in my mind. Thanks, the Lord willing, I will see you again next year. We pushed off from the dock and taxied to perhaps 200 feet or more from the end of the lake. Suddenly the pilot opened the full throttle. I thought he was just revving up the hinges to warm it up, and then he'd throttle back down, turn around, and take off back towards the camp. In the 20 or so years I'd been flying in and out of this lake, no pilot, unless he started from the camp, that ever taken off down to the east end of the lake. For one thing, there's a big hill right at the end of the lake that runs right to the water's edge. To make things worse, this hill is full of boulders the size of cars. But the pilot didn't pull back on the throttle, he kept it at full throttle. I realized then that he intended to take off this way. I could see death staring me right in the face. I yelled, "We're doomed, don't take off this way." I drove my feet into the fuselage and my back into the seat. We were more than 50 feet from the shore when he lifted off the water, with nothing but hills and large boulders right in our path. We looked at each other as if to say, "This is it." The pilot tried to get more power out of the engine by using different fuel mixtures, more air and more fuel, by maneuvering the mixture lever back and forth. Dear God, not yet, I thought. I don't want to die on this beautiful day. Any second now, the floats would slam into one of those big boulders. Oh my God, I thought, my family will never see me again alive. It's too nice a day to die. The pilot was still applying different fuel and air mixture to the engine, trying to get every last ounce of power out of it. I just hoped that the end would come quick. Every muscle in my body was so tense you could have hit me with a sledgehammer and I wouldn't have felt a thing. I had some scary times while flying, but this was my worst nightmare come to life. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy those stories as much as I've been writing them. And like I said, you're just going to my book or Franca Press's website, and you'll get all the information that you need. Thank you very much.